Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a food plot update with you guys. So this is at the homestead here out back where my food plot is. It's just been incredible the amount of growth. It's really an explosion of usage, exponential increase in usage by the deer on my cereal grains. My oats and rye are just they're showing unbelievable drawing power right now and attraction. I don't have any big slammer bucks to show you guys yet. A couple decent ones are coming in, but no showstoppers or anything like that. That's okay. One might still show up before the season. But that's what I'm going to be going over with you guys in this video here is just the kind of the means and methods of how I put in my oats and also my rye, and then how my plot is setting up this year. So if at any point you get any value out of the video or appreciate the effort put into it, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button to my channel. That really helps out smaller channels like mine. I appreciate any support from you guys. So with that, I'll jump right into it. This summer, I really had no food on the property here. Part of my plot was in that real old mature rye stage, so there's really no forage for the deer there. The other side, I did put into buckwheat as a cover crop, but I had an electric fence around it to keep the deer out of it. So there's really nothing for the deer on my land here other than just natural woody browse. And, so there's a doe or two kind of milling around here and there, but nothing really to speak of. I got rid of that electric fence, and to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to be doing an electric fence anymore. They work, and I finally figured it out with the 4 total strands and that thicker poly wire, but it's just a lot of work to put up and then keep it maintained and mow. Use the string trimmer and keep weeds down all summer. So may or may not do that in the future. We'll see. But bottom line is there's really no deer around here throughout the summer. Finally got that fence taken down and got my cereal grains in the ground. Now, I planted the Whitetail Institute Forage Oats Plus. It's pretty expensive, but I just buy it at my local sporting goods store here where I'm at, and it's definitely worth it. In these videos that I'm showing you guys, you can see most of the deer are on the left-hand side of the screen. That's the area of the oats. So on the far right-hand side of the screen, there's a little strip of rye along the woods edge, kind of where my food plot trail comes out of the woods. That's all in rye. And you can see that a lot of those deer are walking through the rye and getting into the oats to feed on those oats. So at least where I'm at, they're definitely picking those forage oats over the rye. Now, I did a little bit of research on these oats over the years, and you definitely want to make sure you're buying a forage oat. There's 2 distinctly different types. If you just go to your local elevator or local farm store and ask them for oats, any kind of oats, they're probably going to have bin run or like seed production type oats. They're really low cost, but they definitely do not have the drawing power that a forage oat has. So a forage oat is geared specifically for grazing and forage production for bovine type animals, and that's what these forage oats do, and that's why the deer prefer these so much more than just your regular bin run or grain production oats. A buddy of mine up here, he did a side-by-side test years ago, and he said the deer wouldn't even touch those bin run oats or the grain oats, and they would walk through that every night. They would walk right through it and go over to the forage oat side of his food plot. So I never did the test myself. But he showed me the videos and the photos, and so and if you do the research online, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's 2 different types of oats out there, so make sure you're getting the forage oat. And I end up buying it through. It's got the big buck head on the bag, and everyone says you pay double just to get that picture of the big buck head on the bag, and that's probably true, although I don't know where else to really find these forage oats, to be totally honest. I've been looking around online. You can find some on Amazon, but they're not really that available. Like, you can go buy winter rye at your local elevator or farm store. Sorry for the brief interruption, but winter's almost here. And if you're someone who has young trees on your property that you need to protect from deer browse, you should check these out. They're called browse blockers. You just grab the top growth candle and branch whorl of the tree like this to pull the browse blocker over it. You clip it on,
Then you leave it like this through fall, winter, and spring. After spring green up, take the net and clip off and save them, because you can use them multiple seasons as this tree grows taller. This tree won't get browsed as long as this net is on it. If this is something that you think could help you out this year, you can check them out at browseblocker.com. And when you go to checkout, say that you saw this on YouTube, and my dad will throw in 10 free browse blockers and clips on top of whatever you order.
Just about anywhere, everyone's got winter rye, but very few people, at least in my area, almost nobody carries forage oats. They're always the other type, the grain oat. So I find that interesting. So just be heads up on that. And if anyone knows of any good oat spots to buy them online, you could drop it in the comments if folks are curious. But so I put my oats in at 250 pounds per acre. I actually planted mine on August 12th this year. A lot of you are probably thinking, well, that sounds really early to me, and it is earlier than most people plant. Keep in mind, I'm way up in northern Minnesota. Winters come early here, and it's just one of those things. That's kind of the main reason why I plant mine so early. But even other people around here won't plant it quite that early. Some guys will wait till Labor Day to plant. But you guys, my thoughts on this are that I want a lush green bed of oats with a ton of forage out there. Because as I go into fall, I need to be carrying a lot of pounds per acre of green tonnage into the fall, because I get a lot of really, really heavy browse pressure here at my house. That's the other thing to keep in mind. So, it's kind of two things. It's the early winter where I'm at up here. Most likely, a lot of you folks watching this are further south than I am. We're just really far north. We're actually further north than Michigan's UP. So, keep that in mind where you're at. Just because I'm planting on August 12th doesn't mean that's when you should plant necessarily. The other factor, like I say, is just the incredible browse pressure I get. The deer are really not letting my rye or oats get up very tall, because I'm in a predominantly wooded area. There's almost no ag competition around me. There's no soybean fields. There's no corn fields by my house here. So I'm really kind of the only show in town, which is really nice for my food plot. I have a lower bar that I got to meet with my food plot in terms of quality, and I can get really good attraction from the deer in my neighborhood. So anyways, that's when I planted it. I planted 250 pounds per acre. I did disc my plot, and then I seeded it. And then I used a spring tooth, like a tine drag, to drag all the seed in. And then I cultipacked it, and that I got incredible germination. And I'm in real sandy soil here. That's why I do all that. I know some guys out there will say, you don't need to till, you don't need to do anything. Just throw the seeds on the ground and it'll grow. Well, that doesn't really work where I'm at. I'd get really, really poor germination if I did that. I mean, maybe if we got perfect rain after rain after rain and it rooted in good and like all the stars aligned and it was perfect moisture, that might work by me. But I'm in sand here, and we never get perfect rain patterns here. It seems like we're always dry. Even now, the month of September has been really, really hot and dry for us up here. We need my soils at this year's soil sample came back at 2.1% organic matter in my food plot. So I really need to build my organic matter. That's something I'm working on in my food plot. So anyways, so for me, I want that little bit of soil cover over my oats and my rye. Now my rye, I did 300 pounds per acre. Same method. Disced it up, seeded it, drug it, cultipacked it. Works great. Even with sporadic and periodic rainfall, it all rooted in really great. I got really good germination rates. So I'm really impressed with the amount of use and attention that my oats and rye are getting right now. And I'll be honest, you guys, my brassicas, I tried a strip of radish and winter peas on the other side of my plot. The winter peas are doing very well, but my brassicas, I'm just struggling to grow them. It's been such a weird year for us up here. It was really rainy and cold to start out the summer. And then right about the time I was planting my brassicas, the sprinkler shut off and we quit getting rain. And well, then we got one real big rain, but that wasn't quite enough to get my brassicas to go. So I've got kind of these stunted radish plants out there and a few turnips kind of scattered, and weeds are coming in. So my winter pea and brassica side of my plot is not doing well. My winter rye and my oats are going to save me this year. I think they're going to bail me out once again. Every year, that's the foundation of my food plot, those cereal grains. And it's just really been unbelievable, the usage by the deer. With all these does hanging around, it's just a matter of time before a nice buck comes in and sets up shop on my land. I've been doing a lot of TSI work out back too on the bedding areas. So I think it's just a matter of time before something real nice shows up. So if you guys don't have a cereal grain component in your food plots, I highly recommend it. It saves me just about every year, it seems like. And this year, I know I'm going to have a ton of green forage and production that I'm carrying into the fall. That food plot attractiveness is starting to ramp up exponentially just as we track into the fall rut. So I'm right where I want to be as far as food plot attractiveness increasing as we go into fall here. So that's the update on my plot. If you guys have been planting oats successfully for many years, do me a favor and drop a comment down below and let me know when you plant your oats, when the ideal planting date is for yours. Might help out other folks watching this video online here who are curious or maybe thinking about planting them. And then also your winter rye too. What time of year do you like for your rye? So with that, take care, and I will catch you guys on the next video.